started getting us saying, so I decided to have a fundraising every year. So we have the fundraiser day and then another day for celebration. So we were doing the celebrations because we noticed a lot of the women were pushed aside by families, by people around them. So when they come for the party, they feel like belong to society. Amazingly, I noticed something weird. Every year when we have our parties, by the next year, you notice this is not there, this one is gone, this one is gone, this one.
Dear Lord.
Formally, it was really breaking me because I had over 100 women passing. People I have interacted with, people who were young, people who they tried to fight, but
They succumb.
yeah, it go. You know, cancer goes beyond just the money.
Yeah.
It's a whole complex thing that when one doesn't understand the patient, anything can happen. So then I said, okay, we'll settle on this. Every year, we must raise funds, we must raise funds, get people to support them with the funding. Our foundation, what we do is we do the patient support thing. So we don't only give them money. There are periodic times we call them, we go to their houses to check on them. So we don't leave anybody out. And I want to say thanks to my president. She has been very, very supportive. When I set out to go and look for money, she also takes care of the people by checking on them. We know their status, we know. So it was during this journey I noticed that when we are told you have this number of months to live, is reality.
Wow.
Yes, it's a reality.
Wow.
It was during my journey I noticed because. So I became so used that Dr. Grace would say, the thing is, you become used to what is going on. Like, it happens, so you must live with it. So as for fundraising, thanks to breast cancer, I have done a lot. And I'm glad we have impacted a lot of women. It can never end because the disease is still with us. And we started seeking support. I was using individuals that I know, those around me. Oh, can you support us with this? Or I have a patient who is just, oh, we need like 2,000 or anything you give us out of it, we are okay. Sometimes you can feel they are not too okay, but
I mean, because everybody is dealing with something, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I go to my friends, I tell them, hey, me, I'm a beggar, so accept me as such. But Miss Kano, let me just go and support the people. And I realized they were coming out because they noticed we use the money for the right things. Yes, we know. They know we use the money for the right things. So as we were growing, it's been 6 years now. So along the years, we try to identify other donors that can come on board and help. It was this year during our fundraising. We have our fundraisings in July.
Okay.
Because I had my year starts from July. My president's year also starts from July. So we marked that year that instead of having fun around, we use that anniversary date or month to raise funds to support our women. It's been great, but it's been very tough. Yeah,
great.
It's been great.
Okay, so I'll let you breathe. I'll come back. We'll find out. I mean, we'll talk a bit more about the challenges on the ground. I mean, it's painful to hear that year in, year out, the women you meet and try to support, we tend to lose a lot of them. From your point of view, again, I'd like to find out what really do you gather is the problem, or are the challenges why we lose them? And apart from support, raising funds to support with medications and all that, what does the foundation do, and what more support you will also need to continue to support people? But let me turn to Gina now. Hi, Gina. Good morning. Hello, Gina. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Gina. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well, Miss Edem.
Okay, great. So I think Gina and I met about 3 years ago, right, Gina?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Here we had Cosmopolitan Mix. We launched Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and then she was here to share her story. And through her, we met a number of the survivors as well. And last week, Gina, I was telling my audience about Gifty, whom we lost very painfully. Gifty had come to the studio, Susan, like you're doing. She sat here, we had conversations. I still had the photos we took and everything. And people came on board to support her. Yeah, I think less than a year. I mean, it was going well. Gina would tell you she was going regularly for her checkups, her medications, and all that. And then somehow, gradually, her condition started deteriorating. And usually, I mean, that was the closest I had come to knowing a patient, right? And the last days when she calls, she's all tears. She sends you videos. You see the pain she's going through, the treatment. At some point, you go like, oh, Jesus. And I think I was out of the country when I woke up one day and saw that Gina had sent me messages, and I was so broken, so broken. Yeah. Hi, Gina, again.
Hello, Miss Edem.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
never get over some of these deaths.
no, I mean, for me, I still have my conversations with. It was almost a year that we had regular conversations, daily, weekly conversations. Gina would come here to Joy FM to see me. We would talk and all. I'm Gifty, So I had a very close relationship with her, and when I heard that she had passed, it was a very difficult one. But yeah. So tell me, how did you get into advocacy too, Gina?
Okay, so my started when I had to do chemotherapy. So I started my journey in a private facility, and after the first surgery, I was then referred to Kolebu. I got there and I was overwhelmed. I needed a coping mechanism, and I sought for a support group because as of that time I was reading so well. I wanted to know what exactly I was dealing with, how I could cope with the challenges that would come. And I noticed or realized that a support group would be of very important distance to me. I sought for a support group and I told there was none. I asked if I could get a contact of a survivor, like somebody who has gone through the journey and I could draw inspiration from. Because as of that time, all I heard was chemo will make me become like a ghost, it will kill me, I will never be well again. I mean, those are views from the doctors and opinion leaders at home. And I was so scared. So I just needed someone who had gone through it and is doing
To
okay, just to
encourage
draw
you.
inspiration. I didn't get any.
Wow.
So I went
This
through
was
the
how
hard
many
way.
years ago?
That was 2018.
Okay.
2018. And I mean, the system then wasn't like now that there is a like a clinical psychologist who you could go to. And so it was more like information. Information will just be passed on to you. You are going to do chemo, expect this kind of side effect, and you are left to handle it or process it. That is why most people would decide not to come back because that fear if not handled well, people would default, and so many defaulted.
Yeah,
But
and
I
I
blessed
think about
myself.
the time, that's when a lot of people will also tell you that, oh, as for hospital medicine, it will kill you. So go and do herbal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, if people that you don't know that might have died from breast cancer, they'll force you to know them.
Yeah.
And I still may see
Yeah.
this person's wife, this
Went
person's
to the
sister
hospital.
took
Yes.
chemo and she was never the same. She died. If you see her, she looks like a ghost. Before she died, oh, they'll say things that will scare you.
Hey.
Interestingly, nobody will tell you about anyone who maybe went through it and survived. So it was just scary, and you think that death is just waiting for you the next moment. So for me, I told myself, if I prayed to God that if He grants me the grace and I survived, I was going to be that survivor I looked for that I didn't find. And I started breaking the invisible barriers that were around my peers. So I was able to identify some people who I knew were also undergoing treatment for breast cancer. They were within my age group. I mean, we're all below 40 years, women who were still in their reproductive ages. I try to break them, because when you get to the facility, though, it's like Obia is serious. You can feel the tension. And so I try to, I mean, we became like 9. So we formed a support group. At a point, we even involved our spouses, because I noticed that our husbands were not also finding it easy. For most of us, I also noticed that there was that knowledge gap. You ask your fellow sister, so what kind of cancer are you being treated for? So I don't know. So what kind of chemo are you being given? I don't know. After chemo, what are you going to do next? I don't know. This stage of cancer, it's like, so why don't you ask? He said, I don't want to know. But I feel that knowledge, knowing all of this, is supposed to empower us. So I started by going to the consulting room with some of them, because I was reading, I was asking the right people the right questions, I was compiling accurate information. And because it was helping me, I knew what I was dealing with, I knew what to expect. Yes, of course, sometimes there are unexpected outcomes, but knowledge empowered me. It improved my self-efficacy. So I'll go to the consulting room with some of them, our company, especially those who would come alone. And then I'll be asking questions on their behalf. Why is she being given this? Why not this?
And the doctors allowed you?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
They did. And so that was how it started. And right after surgery, I started volunteering at the breast care units at the Department of Surgery. I was there as a face of survivorship. Every Wednesday, you see me there, because it's Wednesdays that people are newly diagnosed. And for those who are already diagnosed, it will be on those days that their treatment plans will be prescribed. And if it involves chemo and mastectomy, I tell you, I mean, the tears, even those that will just be diagnosed, you don't want to be there to see how they break down.
Wow.
But often, I see that when I'm brought in, and sometimes I have to even take my shirt off, because I always will go in a try and a top, so I can easily show my scar.
Wow.
They see you, so the clinical psychologist or maybe the doctor will call you to your consulting room and like, look at Gina, this seat you are sitting in, she sat there before. They'll be looking at you as if, they feel they are deceiving them.
Wow.
And so for me, I'm always ready. Even if they are there with their spouses, so the woman is there with the husband, I don't mind. I will not even ask if you want to see. I will just take my scar off.
Wow.
See. And I see that for those that might even be crying, wailing, the moment they see the scars, it's like some calm.
Calms them down.
Calms them down. It's like, oh, really?
Wow.
So it's survivable. And then I began to navigate this individual. So the Breast Society of Ghana saw what I was doing and decided to take me on as their patient navigator. So my role there was to follow up on patients who were defaulting treatment or their appointment. So they'll give me a list of patients that were supposed to perhaps come for chemo or mastectomy, radiation, whatever. And I mean, for weeks or months, they've not reported. So I'll call, and I gathered that for most of them, it is fear.
Gina, at the time, had you been declared cancer-free?
No, I was still on the journey. I had just finished my.
Oh dear Lord.
I had just also lost my breast.
Wow.
Waiting for radiotherapy. But I didn't feel I had to wait to be healed before, because I skipped somewhere. I mean, what provoked me most, by 2019, we were 9 in the support group. 6 had passed. 6 had passed. And I was like, no. I noticed that one was misdiagnosed initially. One, because of this faith attitude. Oh, me so for mommy, I can't just go and have my breast removed like that. And also she was doing the prayer stuff, and the cancer spread to her lungs. And I mean, that was the time I met her. So within some few, periods, she passed. One, Lizzie.
But that's not misdiagnosis, is it?
Please come again.
You said she was misdiagnosed.
No, that was another one.
Okay.
Vera was misdiagnosed. So for her, she didn't know it was breast cancer until it was quite too late. For Lizzie knew something was going on. She was diagnosed, I think, in time, but the family said it was spiritual.
Oh dear.
Okay, so they were handling it in the house until a cousin of hers came and then forced her to the hospital. But it was too late. The cancer had already spread to her blood, and so she couldn't make it. I mean, it was terrifying. One that was also scared. I mean, there were 2 that were scared of the mastectomy. So I felt that, I mean, these were women who shouldn't have died. And I realized there was a gap, the information gap, the psychological support, the financial support gap. I mean, there was a lot of gap, and I just knew I had to avail myself to see how I could also do something differently, or a little more to just help to reduce the menace this dreadful disease was causing. So it's been like that from 2019 till now, navigating patient, and I mean, doing that gave me a lot of fulfillment. There are times that I feel like giving up, especially if people you invest so much into emotionally. Many times I do not have money, I don't have money, and I didn't have the ability to be asking or maybe seeking donor support from organizations. So what I do is I try to identify some of my pink sisters or fellow survivors or warriors who I felt were doing something, like they had some little money. So often when people are stranded, when somebody calls in, they are stranded with the basic things, maybe transportation to the hospital, they need food. Some would get support from NGOs for their medication. But they'll tell you, Gina, and so to mean that for some of them, they have support for the treatment, but what to eat becomes an issue. So I'll just call on my pink sisters, please. I need money. Can you get me 50 cedis? So I'll start asking 50 cedis, 20 cedis, 10 cedis. Then we solve that problem. So as and when the problems come up, I think there was this lady, I'm praying that she survived because the cancer had just recurred. I mean, her journey was that tough. The husband left her with 5 children after she was diagnosed.
Hey.
And she was exposed. She sounds exposed. And you can imagine, she also wasted so much money on herbal medication before eventually coming to the hospital. But for that time, she had nothing on her. She had the support all the way to radiotherapy. She was doing radiotherapy. We said then, she stays somewhere beyond Kaswa. So according to her, when I called to check up on, she told me that she was still at Kolebu as of 7 p.m. Like, what are you doing there? Also, this is where I'm sleeping now. I'm like, are you on admission? She said no. What are you still doing there at 7 p.m.? She said, I'm sleeping there. Where? At the waiting area. If you know the Department of Surgery, the waiting area, there's some metal seat. Even if you are sitting on it, it's not comfortable enough. And to think that that's where she spends her night, because she doesn't have money to travel back to wherever she's coming from and be coming every day. So that's where she sleeps. So she said because she still had to send the children something like upkeep money for the day, the little money she had, she's going to buy a coil from Accra Central. So after the radiation in the morning, she goes to Accra Central to sell the coil.
Jesus.
Then she sends something to the kids. Then she comes back and then somehow
And
relaxed.
sleeps
So
there.
I heard it that I just called the Pink Sisters because a day there's a hostel around that was charging like, is it 15 cedis a night? So I just called my Pink Sister, please. A sister needs comfort for a night. Give me 15 cedis. Give me 50. So that's just how I've been doing. If it's food, I call on them. But there's something that hits me hard. When I'm called to inspire those who would have to do mastectomy, I noticed that for many of them, it is not the fear of losing their breast, but the fear of how they were going to cope after the surgery. Because to lose one breast or both breasts, that means, it will be difficult for you to look the same as a normal woman, to step out like that. For most of them that I've observed, if they don't have the money to do the reconstruction, and it's the relative for most of us, it's quite expensive. And you cannot afford a decent silicone prosthesis, then they will resort to all kinds of things, racks, napkins, things that you see and your heart will break. And you see that the moment you set your eyes on their chest, you see that there's no balance. A chair, the person is not that, and so they themselves know. So for most of them, they'll put on this cover cloth or baggy dresses, and they will tell you because of this, they don't even go for any social gatherings. And I'm like, no. If this would be, I realized this was a major problem. So I asked God, what can I do? So I started producing something decent. It looked like the silicone that we cannot afford, but then I use material and then fiber. So continuously I will innovate or improve on it because I use it myself. I try to see where I can improve it. And I was giving this out for free because as of that time, I was not working too. I had a school. The school, I closed it down after the COVID. So
you were struggling.
I was struggling. But the Breast Society was giving me 500 cedis then as for my TNT to be coming and then supporting. So I would make sure that from that 500 cedis, I go to the market to buy some material. So whenever I am coming to the facility, I have some foams in hand. And the moment you tell them that you don't have to worry about how you cope after treatment because I have something here for you, they see it and you realize that they are empowered. They feel, okay, more hopeful because I use it myself. And you hardly will tell that I've lost a breast. And that also improved adherence because they were not so scared about how they would look or how they would live after treatment. So it's been like that. It's been like that from 2019. And as I said, there are days that you feel, so overwhelmed emotionally. The emotional toll, then sometimes it becomes very overwhelming. There are times that I feel I'm depressed, but I know it's burnout, like chronic burnout. Because you call to check on someone, so she just passed. You call somebody you was in a good state the previous week. You call her, she's coughing. There's like why is this coughing? So Sister Gina, sorry, my can't. Meaning said, but how? I was coughing. I went to the hospital. They've done this CT scan, and I'm told the cancer has spread to my lungs. And you know how the story is likely to end. It's sometimes very overwhelming. But when I look around at the others that, by God's grace, I've navigated and they are doing well. I'm inspired not to give up. The likes of Gifty, after Gifty was Dede and McCaffrey. Those young ones, those who died before 30 years. I get provoked. If I remember, even if I'm tired, I say, no, Gina, this is not the time to be tired. Because the calls keep coming. People I don't know this time, people that probably I'll know because families of my friends, my own family, people will be calling you to help navigate somebody. And I know that this is an assignment. It's a mission God has given me, and I can't be tired.
I remember somewhere last year, you and I spoke, and you were so broken because I think we had a conversation and you were going to get me someone to speak with. And he said, oh, no, you have this lady in mind. And so you were going to call her. You called her, you called me back and said, you just called, her brother picked the phone and said that she passed on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like a person you were counting on
Yeah.
to share her story, because I remember
Yeah.
you mentioned that she was so strong and
Yes.
everything, you know. And I can imagine what you people are going through. I'll come back to you, and when I come back, what I want to find out from you is, because you have told us a lot, how are you taking care of yourself, your own mental wellness or your mental well-being? Like, how are you taking care of yourself? Because then it's really very important. It's like you people, you for lack of a better word, you and Susan here, you guys have very close conversations with death, right? Yeah, and it's some way. This is Home Affairs. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM. If you're just joining us, not my very bubbly self today. Daniela will tell you when we need to have these conversations. Sometimes I don't want to have them, you know, because they break you. But it's important that we do. And interestingly, on Home Affairs, we always have a different angle to the conversation, the unexplored angles. And every time you hear something that just makes you feel like, oh, you wish you had magical powers, you know, to just make everything right. Because sometimes you ask, what's the point in listening, in telling, when you really can't do anything to just, you know, ease the pain people are going through, or just, you know, do something and then everybody is fine, you know? But yes, we'll have to continue to do what we do, because we are also learning that through these conversations, through the advocacy work, through the encouragement we share, and through your support, you know, we've had occasions where, and I'm sure that we'll put out Susan's number, we'll put out Gina's contact as well, so that you can call them. If you have any support, you can support them to support our sisters as well. It's really, really very important, because these have helped people to survive. You know, the story, yes, sounds gloomy, but we also know that there are people like them who end up surviving because they were supported in one way or the other and have decided to also hand down the support. You and I probably may not be on the grounds to help, to do the things that they are doing, but if we're able to empower them with the little we have, I'm sure they will be grateful, and there's a sister out there who will benefit from our support. Now, let me tell you that the joy of every parent is to see their children grow healthy, become more intelligent, and physically fit. And to achieve this desire, I recommend a Vitamilk soy milk drink for your household. Because it has all the essential nutrients that your children require for their well-being. It's made from whole grain soybean, which is a good source of plant protein, and it's also enriched with omega-3, 6, and 9. There's calcium in there and all the other nutrients required for their healthy and, daily living. Note that Vitamilk has no artificial colorings, no flavorings, and no preservatives. And they have been around doing this for over 20 years, so you're safe with them. Choose Vitamilk Champ for your children, because I mentioned to you that you can find protein in there, there's calcium, there's omega-3, 6, and 9, and all of these have helped your adorable children to grow smarter, healthier, and stronger every day. You can have it in the regular soy milk drink, also in the energy booster with no caffeine. It also comes in the choco flavor, the banana, and the strawberry flavors. And it's usually packaged in 250 ml or 1 liter Tetra Pak. Vitamilk is indeed a nutritious beverage that feels good anywhere, anytime. I'm asking you, do you want extra peace of mind for you and your family? Who doesn't? So yes, because you do and I do, we can go and get more in Idaso from Glyco Life, a life insurance plan that truly delivers. Go on and enjoy free e-health services, a guaranteed death benefit for your loved ones, and a permanent disability benefit that supports you through life's unexpected challenges. It's simple, secure, and just a dial away. So go on, dial *765. Okay, number is *765# now to sign up. Can you write it down again? It's *765#, and that's all you need to do to sign up. Glyco, we cushion you for life. And hey, at this point, let me say a very good morning to Leila Pencil. Leila, are you listening to me this morning? Good morning. And let me tell you that yesterday, painfully, I packaged him and I have dispatched him to you. You know what I am talking about, right? Like I told you earlier, I'm not happy with you, but yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. You owe me a lot. So if you're just joining us, you missed quite a bit. The conversation we're having this morning is not so pleasant, yeah? But it's important. It's not a very pleasant conversation. I'm not sure there's anybody out there who wants to wake up and hear that they have been diagnosed with breast cancer. Again, let's be very honest. The advocacy, the awareness we are creating, everything we're doing, early detection saves lives, and all of those. It's actually very true, and it's good that we're doing all of these things. But trust me, the fear is still there in people. Sometimes, for a lot of people, ignorance is bliss. You don't want to even go and hear anything. But from all the stories we share too, you would actually realize that it's true if it's detected early. That's how come it's important that we are following through with the testing. You can do the test every day in the year, right? Any time at all, you can go and get it tested. You don't have to wait until October before you do. It's just that October is where focus is placed on it to create the awareness and, all the celebrations and the seminars are had in October. But every time in the year, you can walk into a hospital and want to have your breast examined, and nobody will turn you away and say that it's not October, so we are not going to do that for you. Any day at all, you should. But if you want to take advantage of, all the noise in the air and do it in October and probably make it an October thing for you, we're happy. But any day at all, you want to walk in and have your breast examined. And it's important that we detect it early. Your chances of survival and probably not going through chemo, mastectomy, or radiation, probably, depending on how early it is picked up and what age it is and what stage it is, you may not have to go through, all of that. So we want to make screening and breast examination a very regular part of our lives as women. And we've been told that for women who are 40 and above, then you also want to schedule your annual mammograms. They're very, 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 very important and helpful. Now I'm coming back to you, Susan. I mean, Gina's walked us through her journey, which is quite chilling. On your journey as well, could you let us a bit into some of the things that we'll be speaking to Dr. Grace also very soon, some of the challenges you also face, and what more support you think that we can garner, and how the advocacy work you do, what do you do apart from sourcing for funds? Yeah.
Gina has been my friend on the field. Yeah, so our advocacy, just like Gina said, we started by writing to Kolebu Breast Clinic that we want to be part of the clinic. And we go there as volunteers, and we are with a psychologist in her office where we show our scars. People come, they see me especially, they think I'm joking. I really don't have the disease, and I'm claiming I have. So when they see the scar, they stop crying immediately, like, this is not happening.
Yeah.
You too? And I say, yes, but I'm here, so you can be here again. So that encouragement, it was soothing for me so much that it wasn't a bother to show my scar to the newly diagnosed. One major thing I noticed is, why do we wait for the people to be diagnosed before we start supporting?
Yeah.
So Local Breast Cancer Foundation, we always have outreach. We start from January to November. We go to the communities, we run screening. Even this morning, there's screening happening at the Elwak Stadium, the Keep Fit Club. We are having our screening there. We are having another in Teshi. So as for the advocacy with Modloco, it's a very broad thing for us. Because when we go and we educate the people, that's when they can be cautious of themselves and pay attention to their breast. Because you go to places like the markets, all they do is wake up early in the morning, go and sit the whole day, and then they come back home. So we take our screening to those centers as well. We've been to Ashama Markets, Makola, the Rollins Park side. We've been to Malata. We've been to almost all the markets. And we do this from our pockets. Because the nurses, you hear free screening. But the nurses who come, we still must get them food, or I would say lunch, and then their transportations. So yes, those are the tough times that we usually have. When we go out, before before we go, we try to solicit for funds so that we can support the people, because you sometimes you have screening and the patient needs immediate scan or a mammogram to know what's really going on with it. You go and you screen, you have a very bad breast that you wonder how come the woman is staying with this, until we came on board to detect that there's problem with the breast. Well, we don't only operate in Accra. We have been to Central Region. We have been to Eastern Region. We are still considering going to Ashanti Region, because we were lucky to have one credit union, that's Kwapa Credit Union. It's for cocoa farmers. And we know they have the numbers. They have really supported Modloco in this year as we launch. We had a fundraising session in July. And yes, they have invited us to come over in next year, October, to support their credit union with our services. Yeah, aside that, periodically we visit the universities, have time with their SRCs, so that we feel that advocacy must be a constant thing. It shouldn't be, like you said earlier, not only in October. So for me, when you check my status, there's always breast something hovering there. You must know your breast. And then I always say, check your breast like you do with your hair and your nails. And that will make things better for us. So with Kolebu, the support we give to the breast clinic, we haven't stopped. We go there every Wednesday. For some time now, we had a break because we were preparing for October. So right after October, we'll go back and then we go and talk to them. It's amazing the number of people you see seated that you wonder, all these people, they are carrying the disease around. Like, it's sad. It's not like in the 10, 15 people, you see huge numbers. Very young women as well. So we are hoping when we get the people to support us, we'll go far.
Is that what you do you do that full time now?
I will say full time, but I have
a business on the side.
Yes, I do. Okay. I do. Because it's out of that I'm able to facilitate the Modloco. Wow. Yeah.
God will bless you people.
And let me chip in this. There was a time I had to run my own scans and test to see my status after this period, like after my sickness. Then my husband is like, me, this time I will give you money for it. You too, the money you have been raising, use it on yourself. Oh. Then I said, oh. He said, yes. Must you always give it all out? So those are some of the challenges. You become so passionate that what is left with you, you must give it out for.
And even give out your own.
Exactly. Yeah. Like Gina said earlier, wearing the prosthesis is another story. Having brassiere to even contain it is another big issue. So a lot of women go into denial because of that. Because you either wear, I was lucky, I got people to give me. Amazingly, there are survivors that can accrue like 15 prostheses, and I'm like, why?
What are you doing with
What are you doing when you have people out there that they need just one? So, this fiber thing, we decided to also come on board. That we supported one way or the other. The other time we had the fiber supplied to her, and then she made the crocheted kind of a case, and then she will fill it. As we speak, I've taken some stock from her. We are going to donate to some patients. We are hoping to go a long way, and that one is good for the newly
Those who have
diagnosed with the fresh scars,
Yeah.
because you can't wear the
The prosthetic.
silicone.
Okay.
You can't deal with it. So yes, it has been tough, and the Bible said, money answereth all things, and that's the reality. When there is money, you can now reach out to somebody and support. As for me, I have told all my people, like I said earlier, I'm a beggar. I need to come and support someone. And it has been a very good initiative that we took, because just as we've lost a lot of women, we have been able to see other women survive because we came through with our support.
Great.
And yeah.
Dr. Grace Bachman, good morning.
Edem, good morning.
The work is big, oh.
It is too big, I tell you.
So,
It is too big.
we've had conversations, but haven't had this leg of the conversation before. The work is too big. And look, thank you very much. It's been how many years? 3 years. Every morning in October, we'll wake you up and you're on it. Thank you. That's all I can say to start with. And
Anytime, Edem.
yeah, Dr. Grace Bachman is the medical director, Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center. I've last week I mentioned, if you're just tuning in, I mean, right after here, I'm going to the Osu branch. I have a little challenge, so I'm going to show it to the doctors over there. And then there is one at West Hills Mall. There's another one at Tema. And Doc, you said there's a new one where too?
In Swedro.
In Swedro. Oh, that must stick in
Yes.
my head.
It's not too far from the Swedro Government Hospital.
Great. And I mean, you should visit Sonotech. The ambience alone. I mean, some places you enter, then you forget that you are sick. that's what the ambience gives you. But Doc, we want to talk about what's on the table this morning. How important is this advocacy work from where you sit?
So, I was just listening to Gina and Susan, and, I even appreciated them the more. We've all been working together for a very long time, and sometimes the one actually calling for help even needs help, and there are times that they can't even get the help they need. And I can testify to the fact that Susan and Gina have tremendously contributed their part to this whole, advocacy thing. They've actually opened the doors for more survivors actually to also join in the whole campaign, and kudos to them. I pray that God gives you guys strength to continue what you are doing, and anytime you guys are in need, may the doors be open so that whatever you need will be sorted out. So, Edem, at Sonotech, we've been involved in this whole advocacy. This is about the 10th year we are doing this, and I think I've said this before. The reason why we decided to start this whole thing, when Sonotech started, one of the very first patients I had, so this woman was coming to our facility, and anytime I say this story, it still brings a lot of, all sorts of emotions. She comes with her 6-year-old daughter, and always brings the daughter for checks and all. And occasionally she would come, maybe some malaria, something. But one time, I'm in the clinic, and this woman is rushed to our facility, our old place in Osu, and she came in with seizures. So I'm like, how? I always see her here. She always comes with her daughter, 6 years, very beautiful girl. Seizures, how? We did a head CT, and I was shocked. In fact, I didn't even know she had a previous history of breast cancer. I had no idea. Apparently, the cancer had spread to the brain, and we were now seeing her with a seizure. So then I went into details and asked the husband, what, like, I mean, this is a big surprise to me. Apparently, she was diagnosed about 5 years ago before the incidents had happened and started the treatments. But she said at a point she ran out of money. There was no money coming from anywhere. She couldn't continue. So she just stopped the treatment. That was 5 years ago. Didn't go back to the hospital, didn't do anything. Continued her life as if there was nothing going on. And then boom, 5 years down the line, they bring her with the cells spread all over. I remember that day I called Dr. Azaf, and Dr. Azaf was like, no, this doesn't look good. And so I felt that personal responsibility, not just as a doctor, but I mean, I'm doing a lot more public health as well. We don't have to sit and assume that we are waiting for people to come to us. We need to go to the communities to spread the word. We need to make sure that people understand what's going on. If 5 years ago, when she was diagnosed, if she had followed through treatment, finished the treatment, for all you know, by now we'll still have her around. But she defaulted due to financial reasons, due to the health system failing her, and that was the result we had. At that point, the thing I could think about was, what happens to this 6-year-old girl? Just looking at her face really broke me. So we decided that for primary prevention, secondary prevention were two things we're going to go very, very hard on. So we usually would do a lot of corporate outreaches, schools, send a message around, and then we would come to our facilities as well, offer the free screenings, and then do discounts on mammograms and ultrasound. As of yesterday, even though we're even giving discounts on mammogram, at our West Hills Mall branch, there was someone with a very, very bad, something that the clinical breast exam had picked. The person was supposed to do a mammogram. Even with a discount, the person could not afford, but luckily, we are able to give some free mammograms. We have a slot for free mammograms, so the person qualified and then we did it for her. But my question is, so after we've been able to do this free mammogram for the person, and obviously the results points the direction of breast cancer, will this person actually follow through treatment? Because the mammogram crash, she couldn't pay, which was just the discounts put it at 400 cedis, and she couldn't pay 400 cedis. Will she be able to do even a biopsy? Will she be able to pay for the cost of all the diagnostic investigations? Will she be able to pay for treatment? And you see, those are the realities, and those are the things that sometimes, like personally.
Oh, Doc, we can't hear you anymore. Hello, Dr. Bachman.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I dropped off.
Yeah, you're back now.
Hello, Edem, can you hear me now?
Yes, Doc, we can hear you.
Oh.
Dr. Bachman, I can hear you now.
Okay. So these are some of the realities that we see every day that pushes us to continue doing what we're doing. Ask yourself, is our health system currently very resilient to, all the way make sure that people get screened? Those who are supposed to be screened, to make sure that they get screened. There are other countries that once you hit 40 years, you'll be at home and you get a letter from either the government or the hospital you go to, and they'll tell you that it is time for your screening mammogram to be done. Once you are due, you keep getting reminders. You go, you get it done, and when the screening is free. But our system here, that's not what's happening. I mean, when it comes to treatments and all, we've made significant progress. Our national health insurance scheme now covers more than it used to. But there's still so many gaps. People have had to move into poverty just because of a breast cancer diagnosis. And that should not happen. So there's still a lot more we have to do, and we need to start it from, as a country where we don't really have much in terms of finance, in terms of resources, primary prevention is the way to go. And that is why every effort has to be put into making sure people get screened, people get the message, and then we detect these cancers early. Because once we detect it early, then of course the financial burden is less. The treatment options, you might not have to go through everything. Maybe a simple breast conserving surgery and radiation might be okay for you, you know, and the drain on you and then the whole family will not be too much. But now we're still diagnosing almost 70% of our cases in advanced stages. And it can be very catastrophic financially for people. People are not able to go through. That's why the supports and all that we always call for is very, very necessary. And sometimes, even after you've successfully gone through the treatment, the relationships around you, I mean, last week we spoke about some of them, the emotional support, the social support. I'm excited about some of the relationships I've built with some of these survivors. People will call you in the morning. The person wakes up, the person is very anxious. I remember 1st October, the survivors called me and Dr. Grace, I don't know what's happening. I'm just too anxious. My emotions are all over the place. And I'm sure Gina and Susan will attest to that. Every now and then, today you're happy, tomorrow you're sad. Sometimes because of all the hormonal interplay and all that. Can you imagine someone like Gina wakes up one day, she's sad, but she has to be there for another person?
True.
You know, so I think the support is not even just before we diagnose people, but and not only through treatment, even when they are done with treatment, the survivors. So this year, one of the things we did at Sonotech was to launch a project we call Faces of Courage, where you know, over the years, now we have a lot more survivors who have joined the advocacy to share their story. But my issue is, after they share their story, then what next? I mean, they share their stories to push people to get screened, to let people know that breast cancer is real, offer the support they can. But what happens to them? What do we do for them? So I spoke to a few people, and then we came together on the Face of Courage project where we gave them like a whole spa session. I mean, we got someone to do their hair, get dressed for them, do makeup, you know, more like a relaxing atmosphere, a whole spa day, and also presented them with huge packages. And for me, the smiles on their faces alone, like, really calmed me. I was just too happy on the day watching them, you know, so happy. And after this experience, I think 2 days after, another person calls me. Today, the emotions are all over again. So I think it's a continuous thing. It's a continuous thing. They need constant support. They need people around that, you know, they can always count on. So the support doesn't end now. It's a daily thing. And those who sometimes appear very strong are even the ones who need the support the most. So I think generally those are some of the things I would say.
Dr. Bachman, I would say thank you. I mean, you know why? You know, when I started, I did mention that there are some support groups, and you hear that at the end of the day, what they do is they take advantage of some of the young ones or newly diagnosed cases, and sometimes it becomes a fanfare, and people end up enriching themselves with, you know, the gains from the funds they raise and all that. So there are lots of stories out there and reasons why some people are not even willing to support anymore. So I thought that we would have this leg of the conversation, because then I noticed that the side of the support came up very strongly last week when we had a conversation. Now Gina is doing a lot of support work out there. So is Susan. But we wanted a confirmation from a doctor who is at the thick of things to say that the work they're doing is important, is critical, and if you can support in any way financially, encourage them in whatever way, then Dr. Bachman is endorsing your work and saying that yes, it's important. And I think she has worked with you both at different times as well, and she appreciates the work you're doing as well. Doc, thank you very much for adding your voice to this call. I don't know if there's anything
Thank you very much, Edem.
Yeah, if there's anything more I'd like to say.
I just wanted to say that I wanted to add that I mean, we have some support to do some free mammograms, a few of them. So if truly you are listening and you don't have, the financial support to do your screening mammograms, you can reach out to Sonotech, and then we'll be happy to help. And the partnership on Cosmopolitan Mix as well. Every Friday we choose a few people to do some free mammograms for. So we are happy to continue that. And if you also want to support and probably pay for some free mammograms for some people, that would be great, so that we can increase the reach as well. This year, the work in Central Region has been very great because of our Swejo branch. So we are reaching out to even more women.
Doc, thank you so much.
So thank you, Edem.
You probably want to text the number to me so I can announce it for those who would need a free mammogram, and then when they call and you listen to them and you think they qualify, then they're able to get the free mammogram. So if you'd kindly text the contact to me to announce, I will very much appreciate that. And thank you for always heeding our call here on Home Affairs. Thank you very much, Dr. Grace Bachman. She is the medical director at Sonotech Medical Diagnostic Center. So, before I forget, let me find out I would like to take your contacts as well, Susan, yours, and that of Gina, and the support line, right? That especially, so people can call you, learn more about what you're doing, and then find ways by which, look, you're out there, you may not be able to start a support group on your own, but there are already established groups, and you have heard, I'm not sure Dr. Grace Bachman will want to put her credibility on the line like that if she doesn't know these people, and you have heard. So at least, you might want to start with these two people who have decided to be on our show, and you've heard their stories. So let me start with you, Susan. What's the support line that people can call to ask?
Okay, so the support line is 059 466 8485.
Okay, great. And Gina, how about you?
050
050
600
600
7 999.
999. Okay, so
Yes,
I'll go over these numbers. If you're looking to reaching out to Modloco, the number to reach out to will be 059 466 8485. And if you want to reach out to Gina, her contact is 050 600 7999. Those are the contacts you want to reach out to and support in one way or the other. So I have Dr. Bachman, so Sonotech's contact is also here. That also is if you want to reach out to Sonotech to see if you are able to pick up a free mammogram slot or get a discounted one, or for general health services is 050. Oh, where did you go? Come back here. 050 704 9917. Sonotech is 050 704 9917. That's how you reach out to Sonotech. We'll be wrapping up in just 2 minutes, and I'd like to take your final words in 30 seconds each. Let me start with you, Susan, in the studio.
Yeah, first of all, I would say I'm grateful for hosting me today, and thanks to our listeners who took their time to listen. It's my prayer that they will be touched to support the foundation. And yes, we have our businesses. When you patronize, it will push us to do more. And I am into local bar, into fresh juice, like I said earlier, into catering services in general. So yes, patronize Malik's Foods.
Great.
And support the cause. Let's beat breast cancer together.
That's it. And finally, from you, Gina.
I would like to start by thanking you, Mr. Edem. Thank you so much. Your calls behind the scene to encourage, motivate me to keep going. And thank you for the opportunity to be on your show this morning. I only want to add that I'm glad that awareness is all over. I pray it will not end when October ends. All the facilities that are offering the free screening, please don't let your banners down. Keep them there. Breast cancer is happening beyond October. And please, let's not try to sexualize breast cancer in any way, because I've observed with concern that it is looking like some people think this is all fun. So it's October and you see some inscription on people's shirt: fondle the breast, save a life, suck a breast, save a life. I mean, it is not funny. Breast cancer is not funny.
Wow.
As I've always been saying that the pink color that has been used to symbolize this disease is too beautiful for it to be used for a disease as dreadful as this. But yes, it stands for us as women. It is not funny. Let's be serious about our breast. Artificial breast is expensive. Reconstruction is expensive. We don't know what is causing it. So your sure way of protection is early detection. And the only way you can detect this early is self-breast examination. And if you are about 40 years, kindly remember to have your annual mammograms done. We are in this together. You don't have to walk this journey alone. If you are out there and you are already diagnosed, reach out to us. We are here to help you navigate the complex healthcare and then the complex journey ahead. Together we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you. And once again, know that the joy of every parent is to see their children grow healthy, become more intelligent and physically fit. And to achieve this desire, all you need is to have loads and loads and loads of Vitamilk soy milk drink with you, for you and your family, because it has all the protein, the plants, a good source of plant protein. It has omega 3, 6 and 9, calcium, and every other essential nutrients that your children need for their healthy living. No preservatives, no colorants, no artificial flavorings at all. And so you let your children have it. It comes in the regular soy milk drink. You can have it in the energy booster with no caffeine, the choco, the banana, the strawberry. All these are flavors and usually packaged in 250 mils or 1 liter Tetra Pak. Vitamilk is indeed a nutritious beverage that feels good anywhere, anytime. And this is how we're drawing the curtain down on Home Affairs. Susan and Gina, my donations are coming right after these conversations to start with, and then let's see what more we are able to do. We should have these conversations regularly, and they depress me, you see. So yeah, but we'll find ways around it. I also need to be encouraged so that we can, and do the work together. The stories you're sharing with me this morning tells me that there's so much we need to do out there. And I'd like to play the song for you too, Dr. Bachman, and every other person out there who is doing a lot of work out there to support breast cancer patients. What we are trying to tell you is that this world is a beautiful place for the people you are supporting, and they appreciate you.
Yeah.